All right, like I said, we're just gonna come back and try this red and gold one. I've heard a lot about red and gold being so good in muddy water. Um, I had red heads, I had red body, but I had nothing gold, no gold type of tail. But what I've come up with is I got some red neck hackle and some gold chenille. And we're gonna tie that up and see how that comes out. I got a pretty good feeling the colors are gonna come out pretty good. We're gonna flash it with gold. Let's get started on it. Let's start out with the red 16th ounce number 4 sickle hook, Patriot Baits jig head. Awesome guys over there making awesome jig heads. I never ran out of jig heads. I stayed supplied in that. Still got quite a few, but I'm pretty sure these are going to a friend of mine, and I'm pretty sure there will be 3 or 4 in my box too. So we're going to start out with the red head. And when I was there today, I meant to get some red thread and I didn't. This is the closest match I've got to that head. Kind of looks the same on camera, but it's not. This is more of a, well, it says orange. Sure looks red to me. More copper. I don't know about orange. My wife's afraid I'm colorblind anyway. Some of it I'm pretty sure I probably am, but that does not look orange to me. Good heavy thread base. Come back about 1/8 inch from the head and cut that off. Let's put in our flash. We're using gold. I've already got that trimmed down some to 4 pieces. And I know before I used to put the flash on right after I did my body material. And I kind of got to where I like seeing it more coming out from the inside of the tail that's going on it. So I'm going to try to get it separated here where we got the same amount on both sides. Give it a pretty good wrap all the way back down to the tip of the hook. And come back up about the same way, about an 1/8 of an inch from the head. And then we got all of our flash, it's all even, it's all coming out the same direction. And now we're going to start out with our red neck hackle. I got 3 small feathers tied in there. Spend just a second or so before you get it situated on your hook. Make sure it's exactly the way you want it at. Start it right there where you ended that thread. And when it comes to the hackle, I would give it 4 or 5 good loops. Check it out, make sure it's all going the right way. Then go ahead and wrap it all the way back down to the tip of the hook. Come back up just a little bit above the hook, because the chenille I got large gold, and it's not going to take quite as much to fill that up. I don't have to double it up or anything. That's what we're going to use for the body. Start it right there, and then wrap backwards with it, and then come back up toward the head of your hook, toward a jig head. Go ahead and pull that all the way up to the neck, right there to the end of it. Then we got our chenille on. We're going to put a little bit of a glue base. When I like having the glue in the thread base. I've got a fingernail polish on the base of the hook, and then I got a super glue on top of my thread. So I make sure it's double secure. I'm just going to brush just a little bit of it on. Don't take a whole lot to hold that chenille on. And once we got that on, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping our body back up just like you do, just like I have, with every jig. Keep it kind of tight. You can watch the jig head move. You can kind of tell how much pressure I'm putting on it. See it come down some. So I'm keeping it tight. And I'm trying to keep it to where it overlaps just a little bit, because when you start pulling that down, that chenille starts spreading out like that. So as I'm pulling it down, I'm going back over where that tinsel's laying flat. And being that we kept leaving that gap, that 1/8 of an inch gap right there at that head, that's going to give me a valley to lay that in, so it kind of keeps the body keeps the body pretty even going across it. Then get on the other side of your thread. Give about 5 or 6 loops there just to secure it. Push the thread out of your way with your finger, that way you don't accidentally cut it. Cut the chenille. Let's do our whip finish. Let's give it another one. Well, hell, ain't the first time I've ever used it, I promise. Looks like it though, don't it? Pull it down, pull it kind of tight. So you put a little pressure on it. Cut it off right there at jig head. Put a drop of glue on it. Make sure you brush some of that extra off of it. And just use that brush and push it right down in there on that thread. That's all you need it. Right there. And that is it. That's our muddy water jig. Red and gold. I've been hearing for months how good this is and how good it shows up in muddy water, so we're going to find out. Works as good as what I've heard it does. There'll be some in mine. Like I said before, like, share, subscribe. Want to know something? Send me a comment, message, let me know. Be glad to help anybody out anytime. And that's all I got today. See ya.